students, welcome back to my class. In the series of learning programming in C, in the previous video, we have completely discussed about structures. So structures, how to use structures, the different operations on structures, everything has been discussed. Now, in today's video, we will discuss about a new topic which is files in C. How to use files, what actually this file, the requirement for file and the different operations performed on file we are going to discuss in today's video. So those who are new to my channel, please subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon so that you can get the notification of all the new videos. And watch the video till the end. Do not skip the video. And if you like the video, please click on the like button and share the video to all your friends. Files in C. So what actually this file is? So files are used to handle the input and output operations. So we can input the data and we can also output the data into the file. It says files can be used to store data persistently on the disk. I can store the data into the disk, or I can use to read the data from the existing files. So what actually this storing, handling input and output operations? Let me explain this with a small example code. Just imagine you have a very simple program and you are accepting some array data to your program. So you will write the complete code to accept the array data. You will have the size of n, you are going to accept the size of the n and you are going to accept the values. Say I just say printf enter the value for n. Then I say scanf %d ampersand of n. Then I start accepting the values. I start with the for loop. I say printf enter values. You can also have some proper mistakes, n values, all those things. So I just say enter values. Then I start my for loop. I say I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. Then I say scanf, scan the integer, then store the value in the address of a of I. So I'm going to accept n values and I can also print that value onto the screen. I say values are, then again start the for loop. I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. Then I say printf %d, new line, I say a of I. Just imagine I am accepting some n values. If I give the value of n as say something like 85. So this loop runs 85 times and I am going to accept 85 values. And these values that what I have inputted from the console will be given to this program at that moment itself. So I just give the values as 25, 30, something like that, up to say I'm going to give, or let me say I have taken 10. So some 10 values I have given. I have given some 10 values to this program. So the values that what I have given through the console, that is through the keyboard, will be taken by this normal, you have this formatted function, that is scanf. Well, we have discussed about these printf and scanf in the previous videos itself. Please do check out the playlist. Those are new to this printf and scanf. But when we accept the values through the console, what happens? These values will be for that particular moment. Then I say print those values and I am going to get that output on the monitor. So those values that what I have accepted will be displayed. But just imagine these data will be for that particular moment itself. The next time when you just execute your program again, the next moment itself, these inputted values will not be there. I have to give new set of values. Just imagine you want to deal with 100 plus records. And every time when you compile and execute the program, it's quite difficult to input those 100 plus data and then process it. So you just compile the program, you give some 100 plus data. Then you process on it and you get the output. Once again, if you want to process this on the same set of data, that data will not be available. And you once again click on Control F9 or Order F9. Once again, when you run your program, the same set of data that what you had given will not be available. You have to input that data once again. Just imagine you have to input 100 plus data for your program from the console, means it's very difficult to handle. So what we'll do, we use the concept of files. So what file says? You store these data into the file. So all these input data we will store into a file. So when I just store this data into the file, every time I execute my program, I need not take the data from the console. I can take the data from the file. So I can take the stored data. So what is file? File is a unit of storage, right? And these files can be used with the program. So I can store my data. So every time I execute my program, I need not give the data, input data from the console. I can give the data from the file. And whatever the program is going to process, and those processed data can also be put into the file. So I can just get the data from the file and I can also store the data. The result can also be stored back to the file. So it is going to save my time, and once the data is secured in the file, I can handle that data to my program anytime, and hence we use files. This is why we require files in C, right? And what are all the operations we can perform on these files? Let us see that now. So what are all the operations we can perform on file? So first of all, we need to declare a file, and for that we use the data type, file, and pointers are required to handle files. So we will have a pointer. I can just say it is, say, some pointer name. So it is the data type file followed with the pointer name. So for example, I just say file asterisk file pointer, some pointer variable name. So we need to declare the file first. In order to declare the file, we use the file data type followed with the pointer variable, because pointers are required to handle files. Once we declare the file, we have to open a file. So we have a function to open the file. Then once the file is open, we start reading the data from the file, or we start writing the data into the file. Then finally, we have to close that file with some function. And all these functions are handled by the header file stdio.h itself. The standard input output header file itself manages all these file operations. How to declare a file pointer, how to open a file, how to do the read and write process, how to close a file, all these things, let us have separate videos or separate session for it. So the next coming video, we will be learning about all these operations. Then talking about the files, we have two types of files. We have two types of files. One is the text file, that is normal file, and the other one is binary file. .txt, and if I say it is binary, it is .bin. Or these files can be used based on the requirement of the user. I can use a text file or I can use a binary file. The name itself tells you text file, it will be in the normal text format, and this is in the binary format, that is zeros and ones. So the object program that what we have, it will be in zeros and ones. Right. So these are the two types of files that what I can use. I can have a text file which consists of normal text, which is easily interpreted by the user, and binary file, which is zeros and ones, which can be easily interpreted by machine. But it's quite difficult to access the data from the binary file, but it is very quick. But text file, it is very easy to access. So how to create these files, how to perform all these operations, let us see in the next video. So that's all for today's video. See you in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.